back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with American Crime, this is season 2, episode 4. Okay, this episode gets, child, so much happened. Okay, we start off this episode with a rape crisis type meeting. It's like a rape crisis center, and you got one of the survivors, and he's recalling the humiliation that he suffered as rape from the rape, as many of the other rape survivors are, agreeing with him. He even talked about the journalist's response to his rape and things like that. Then we go over to Leslie office, and she's speaking with Coach Dan, running down what the police have found and why they are now viewing this case as a rape case. Coach Dan is still in denial. He's saying that he talked to his boys, and his boys told him nothing happened, and he believed them. And she telling him, clearly, they have not. They didn't tell you the truth. You need to realize that your boys are not infallible. They do things, and clearly something has happened here, and they have not, told you the answers that they need to tell you. She told him that they need to give the answers so that they can use the resources they have to help the students. She tells him that all the team will have to undergo DNA testing on every boy in the school will be paraded in front of cameras as warrants are issued to submit the testing. Okay? Now, Dan still can't find it in himself to accept something happened. She trying to tell him that. She just urges him, look, go back and talk to them boys again, explain the seriousness of what they have found and what the school is offering to do to help them. Otherwise, when the person or persons are found, the school will basically put them up front to just, whatever happened to you, happened to you. The school is going to withdraw any support from that person, okay? So he goes to the team, and he tells them they lied to him because the police found semen, and now everybody involved everybody is going to wind up having to do some type of DNA testing. He tells them that the school don't care as long as their reputation stays intact, and that they should have been up front with him. Now, one of the black team members get upset, baby, because she said, look, one of y'all better talk, because I'm about to go to college next year, and I damn sure didn't skeet on that boy, so somebody better talk. Another player said something else, and child, before we know it, they about to have a whole squad right there in the locker room. But they break it up, and the Coach Dan says if anyone has something to say, they need to start talking about it. Nobody said jack shit at this point. He tells them warrants are coming, and it's going to get ugly. Meanwhile, Eric's sitting up against that damn wall looking scared as hell. Now, I don't know what kind of secret Eric got, but he holds a secret, and maybe we going to find out later. Next, we see Eric going to see his dad, Kurt, and at his job, and he's surprised. He wound up calling the mother, and he said that the only thing that Eric was talking about was the party and something about the police or something. She's saying that she don't know what's going on. He's saying, well, we might need to get counseling. We might have to seek counseling for this situation, because I don't know what's going on other than what's being said on the articles in the newspaper and on the internet. Mama, we can't afford no alternatives. Dad, I'm going to figure something out. Mom, like, well, I'm just going to take him home. He said, well, look, why don't you just take him to my house? She was like, no, I'm going to take him home. He was like, why don't you give this boy a chance to have some time by himself? Just take him to my house. And that's what she agrees to do. Child, this shit here, I don't understand what's going on with this young man here. Now, next we see Terry and Michael, and they talking with an attorney that's advising them what to expect now that this allegation is indeed turned into a rape case. They want the newspaper and other outlets to stop writing Kevin's name, but because he's 18, they have every right to. And she basically saying, well, what do we need to do? Do he need to just turn over a sample? Because they pretty much sure Kevin is telling the truth. So the lawyer said offering up anything could backfire on them. If you get what he trying to tell her. The best thing to do is make Kevin appear very cooperative to the police. Even if the other team members have evidence brought against them, Kevin needs to be forthcoming as possible, a.k.a. snitch. And the dad caught that shit, too. He caught that, and he voiced it. But the lawyer tells him, look, I'm just trying to keep Kevin out of jail. He needs to be seen as cooperative and willing to talk to police and possibly even make a statement saying that he will do that. And Tara jumps in. She's scared now. Her main concern is I need to protect my son at all costs because I know this is a little black boy, and this situation includes some powerful little white kids, and I got to look out for my boy. So she tell him, the lawyers, whatever statement he needs to make, set it up. He going to make that statement, okay? So now we see the principal of the school that's having all the black and brown issues meeting up with Taylor's mom. She trying to get him back into that school. It's called the Marshall School. He was there at first, but she took him out of there to put him in Leland because she thought it was a better school. She explaining that he faced challenges at his previous schools, you know, beating around the bush with it with the principal basically. And he told her, look, just tell me how we can better serve your son because if you don't be forthcoming with me, I can't help him. So that's when she has to tell him that Taylor suffered a sexual assault, and he realized that this is the boy from the article. And he tells her, look, we are very overpopulated at this school, so individual one-on-one type of care is kind of hard for us to be able to do at this school, but I assure you I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that your son is safe here, because that's her main priority. She don't want nothing to happen to her son. And I'm like, girl, you must ain't heard about these race relations they having around here. There's a lot going on at this school too, but I guess it's better than being over there where he may be sexually assaulted again. But principal say he gonna help out, and mom agrees. So the next scene is Taylor mom speaking with either I took that as her mama, and she recalling how Taylor dad when she found out she was pregnant, he wanted her to get an abortion. And it's in this scene we find out that she totally pro-life because she wasn't having that. It wasn't going to be no aborting of her child. The only regret she got about when it comes to Taylor is that she didn't choose to have him with a real man. Well, the mom is saying, I know you're going through a lot, because his mom is feeling guilty. She sent him to that school thinking it was going to be a better life for him, and now all of this mess done came about. Well, her mom is saying, I'm assuming that this is her mama because I don't know who this old chick is. But she said, look, why don't we take a weekend off to go up to Chicago? We'll stay at the Sheraton, a good hotel or whatever. And the mom really don't want to leave Taylor. She kind of scared. She feel like she need to be there. But her mother is urging her to think about her too, because apparently something didn't happen to this woman before. And as we get into this episode, we'll get to it. But apparently she got to be mentally okay too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does, but I get that she went through something, okay? So they kind of concerned making sure she stay on track as well as making sure that Taylor is okay. And she's saying, let's do this. Nate will take care of him for a while. And Nate said he agreed to it. He said he loves spending time with old Taylor. And mom is okay with that because she said that Taylor need to be around some real men. So apparently she all right with this here, okay? So I guess they going to go on a little trip or whatnot, okay? All right. Next we see Kurt, Eric's dad, going to see Terry and Michael. Now this here scene kind of tripped me out because what he was doing was he went to them talking about we need to stick together because both of our sons are captains of the football team. But I was here for Terry when she said, but your son is not the one name being plastered all over the blogs, the newspaper, and the internet. You know, your son will always get the benefit of the doubt, whereas my son is not going to get that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have our son's voice heard. We're going to have equal representation for him, and that's how that's going to be. It ain't no we in this together because your son is not being implicated. Nobody said nothing about your son. Meanwhile, colleges that may want to interview my son and they check up on him, do background checks. They type his name in the internet. He gonna be associated with a sexual assault case. So she ain't here for this visit from old Kurt Tanner. And her phone rang in the middle of them sitting there talking, baby. She answered that phone and she answered the phone and took the call, baby, because she got up and walked off on him, leaving him and Michael sitting in their living room. Well, that's when he tell Michael, look, I'm going through a divorce, money tight, and I really can't afford to get an attorney for my son at this point. I really just can't afford to do it. And Michael telling him he understand that, but his only main priority, his main concern is his own son. But what he will do is he will give him a list of possible attorneys that he could go to, and maybe that'll work out for him, because in the book of his mind, his concern is his son. His voice, he already got to his son a lawyer. His voice is going to be heard. He's going to have somebody speaking for his son. But he also say, I feel that your son should have the same representation. So here goes some lists. I'm going to get you some lists, and you try to find him an attorney. But we ain't no together on this here. This is a totally different situation. Now, later on at dinner at Eric's dad's house, he talking to Eric, and he tell him that we need to just make an appointment, go down there and talk to the police and let them, get them what they want, whatever. Eric not here for doing that. He said he don't have nothing to, he don't have nothing to say to them people. And his dad basically tell him, son, this is serious. If you don't cooperate with these people, this could get bad. And really, nobody's going to talk for you. You're going to be on your own in this situation. These other families are not looking to help you. I even talked to Kevin's parents, and they got him lawyered up and somebody to speak for him, but nobody cares about you, and you know our situation here. Well, he telling him that he don't want him feel like he had nothing to say. The dad said, why won't you just let me help you in this situation? Eric snapped back, and this is a problem in that family. Them boys not adjusting well to their parents divorcing. But the daddy tell him, look, we going down there and we going to get this together one way or the other. Now, another scene, we see Leslie and her man leaving. I think they had went to a performance or something, maybe opera or maybe some kind of drama. I don't know what it was. But she talking about moving forward with her fundraising. And he is asking her, oh, so you're going to continue on with that? I thought you would probably leave it alone for a while until all of this mess kind of died down. And she said she don't feel that one has nothing to do with the other. They not one and the same. And he disagrees. He tells her that she might need to resign because it could get ugly. And we learned something that we ain't know. Apparently his daughter went to some prestigious school. And I don't know if she was assaulted or just had a whole lot of slander going on against her. And he said he didn't realize the severity till it was too late, and all he could do was sit there and watch her be annihilated. Now, Leslie saying she has since then talked to the girl, and she is a whole lot stronger person today, and that the kids that did that to her, they were just some bullies, and they were wrong for what they did. Well, he tell her that he don't want to see the same thing come down on her, and this case could get really ugly, and he don't want to see her go down like he did his own daughter. He worried about her. If I didn't get that, if that ain't what that scene was about, y'all get me together down in them comments, because I swear that's what I had got out of there. I got that something that happened with that daughter before, and it was at one of these well-to-do schools, and he didn't know about it because he probably had the attitude that Taylor mama got, and that girl went through something because he wasn't there for her. Well, Taylor is back at his original school, and I ain't get this here. Every class, it was like 3 different scenes where he's sitting in the classroom, then he in a counselor's office. They basically asking him stuff like, what he want to do, what is he looking forward to in this semester, what accomplishments are he looking to have, and basically what it is overkill. They know what this boy's situation is because the principal done probably told him. But instead of them just giving him time to just readjust to being in school and letting him know that we are here for you if you want to do anything, want to talk to us anything, they doing overkill. Study bringing him in there, asking him questions that he just really ain't trying to answer because, like he told that last lady, I'm just trying to live day by day right now. I'm trying to get through this one day at a time, honey. Anyway, it's this black guy next we see standing over at Eva's locker, and he harassing her child, and he tried to push up on her, but she pushed his ass off of her. And as she walking down the hallway, one of her fellow a brown boy, Mateo, he comes up asking if everything was all right and what happened, and she telling him, look, just leave it alone, because at this point I'm sure Eva just want peace. She sees that there's a lot of racial tension here, and she ain't trying to add fuel to the flame, so just leave the shit alone. Okay. Next, we see Kevin dressed to the guards, and he's sitting in the in the kitchen as his mom Terry comes in, and he basically, his thing is he want to help Kevin. He want to help Eric. Eric is his friend, and he knows something, but he ain't willing to tell it. But he want to know what his parents help. Terry ain't trying to help no Kevin, because she said Kevin will always get the benefit of the doubt that Kevin, as a black boy, will never get. Schools will still allow Kevin in after all of this is said and done. It's his reputation that is on the line right now, and that he needs to be concerned about himself and only himself and nobody else. And that's why she got him an attorney, and they finna go down there and do what they do. And what we see them doing is going to a lawyer's office so he can do this damn statement via record. They recording him saying that, what happened, his part he played at the party, what went on, what he saw. And at the end of it, he basically say that, there's nothing more that he wants to add to it, but he is open and willing to cooperate with the police in this investigation as much as he possibly can. And the parents are satisfied about it, but he ain't really, because he feel like he throwing them under the bus. Okay, let me see what happened next. Next thing we see is we got this scene where Kevin and his no, I think I'm behind. Okay. Next, down at the school, child, Evie, remember that guy I told y'all that after the black guy tried to come for Evie and push up on her, the Mexican boy Mateo came and he wanted to know what was going on. Well, Mateo ain't let it go, like Evie said. Him and some of his homeboys got together and whooped the black dude's ass, and their principal wound up breaking it up. Some went to see the nurse because they were bleeding, and Mateo went to the office with the principal. And when he gets in there, he's telling him that the reason why they had that fight was because he had been harassing Mateo. Evie, he said, that these black kids are picking at us. They mimicking our accents and stuff. And ever since Evie was brought out of class to go talk to those police officers, it's been even more harassment going on. And the principal is saying, if it's a problem, you need to address it with a member of staff, not try to do it on your own. You got your way of doing things, well, we got our way of doing things. And since you're not trying to hear what I'm saying, I'm going to give you 3 days to calm down. You're suspended for 3 days. So, child, Mateo got to go. Next, you see Evie telling Taylor about what went down. She say Mateo saw Trey harassing her, and instead of him just leaving it alone, he went and got his boys and decided that he was gonna fight him. And that's what happened. She said a lot of guys be, into it around there about her tussling over her and stuff, but she don't like that. She asked him if his mama gonna be at home later. He said no. She said, well, she gonna come by and kick it with him. And to an average teen that like girls, that would probably be all he wanted to hear, but he had like he was just all right with it. And she said she could have he back at school, gave him a little peck or whatever. I'm telling you, it just seemed forced, child. But anyway, later on we have Eric and his brother talking, and the brother trying to tell him about the black kids at the school. Because see, Eric's brother goes to Marshall. Eric not really listening, and the boy took the phone like siblings do. They take the phone, they be trying to run around and stuff like that. Well, his brother, he got upset because obviously something in that phone, baby. He do not want his brother to happen to tip tap and see it. But child, he damn near did a police chicken wing on that boy to get that damn phone back. When he did, we found out that the brother is kind of unhappy. The brother feel like the parents don't put as much effort into him as they do Eric. Eric the one going to the good school so that he can advance his basketball situation and maybe get a scholarship or whatnot, because apparently these people are not rich neither. They just afford him to be able to go to school, but they couldn't afford to send both their kids. They only sending one. Meanwhile, the other kid got to go to the school where they having black and brown race relation issues, and he could get hurt at any time. He said when he turned 16, he planned on getting a car. He don't care what kind and how he get it, but he going somewhere. And Eric is asking him, where you going? He said, I'm probably going to go where the weather is good and the hose is popping, and you should go with me. But see, your brother don't play on that team, baby, so he not even trying to hit it there. But he do encourage him to get out because the brother's saying it ain't nothing there for him. And Eric like he about to cry, child. That's how he look. He like he about to cry. Next, we see him going stealing beers out of his dad, well, out the refrigerator, and he go in the bathroom, and baby, while they playing Living a Lie in the Background, he is swallowing pills and drinking that beer. We see him end up in the hospital. He ain't kill himself like he tried to, and Coach Dan come down to the hospital to see what's going on. When Coach Dan get there, Kurt is asking him, look, is this something my son not telling me that you may know about? Because I don't know what's going on with him. He explained that they have been going through a divorce in the family and money tight and things like this. So Coach Dan go in there and talk to him. You know, he go through that form, those normal pleasantries you have. Then he asked him straight up, did you assault that boy? And that's when the truth came to the light, at least some of it. We find out that Eric and Taylor had been text messaging and emailing each other back and forwards the whole time, and it was planned that they were going to meet up at this party and have sex. I don't know how true all of that is, child, but he got the text messages, and he said that that's what happened. He said he didn't want to tell nobody because he didn't want them to know that he was gay. Now he's about to lose it all, and he tells Dan that he's not his concern anymore. And Dan leaves. He seemed to be upset. You see the dad running behind him asking what did his son say, and he tell him, go ask your son. So I'm assuming at that point he gonna admit that he did have sex with that boy. Coach Dan sitting in that truck that damn van looking crazy. Now, Dan then goes and talks to his wife's daughter, his girlfriend's daughter, Becca, the little one I call a little bitch that don't listen to nobody. Okay, well, he went to talk to her because he want her to know, look, no matter what's going on, you can always talk to us. Because he thinking about, had this boy felt like he could talk to his parents, all of this wouldn't have probably ever happened. He would have came out the closet, stated that he was gay, and him and his parents would be able to deal with it. But he felt like he couldn't. He want to make sure with his own that she know that she loved, regardless if good, bad, indifferent, come talk to her. She ain't getting the point. The little bubba head sitting there they talking about me at school. He said, nobody's talking to you. I just want you to know that we love you and we here for you. So he left her in there to have her blunt girl moments, okay? Next, we see the detective going to talk to Taylor's mom, and he tell her, look, we got somebody that admitted to having sex with your son. But he also tell her, look, it's apparent that there was a relationship going on between you and your son, between your son and Eric Tanner. Because she won't know if Eric been arrested. No, he hasn't been arrested because Eric is spinning the tale based on the text messages and the emails that they had. I do believe that they did have sex. I do believe that they did talk, and I believe they liked each other, and I believe that he did go to that party to have sex with him. But I think things turned, kind of rough, and that boy said no. But anyway, child, basically he telling her that they didn't, Eric's parents have allowed them access to their servers to validate the text, but he showed her the text, and the text and the emails clearly showed that they had a relationship. Now, at Taylor's mama house, Eric and Evie are there chilling, and the mama coming there, and she telling Evie to go home. She upset. She want Eric's phone. She want the code to get into his phone. He asking her what's going on. She asked him, why didn't you tell me that was how you was, that you actually set up, you set up and made arrangements to go to this party to have sex with the boy. At that moment, he know now everything out in the open, and she started reading one of his text messages that he had sent to Eric saying how he liked it and how he comes and stuff. Evie hear this because she never knew none of this. She upset. She run out the door. He upset. He asking her why she ain't let that go. That ain't the point. The point is, why didn't you tell me? Did you think I couldn't love you? And it's at that moment we get a piece to what is going on in this family. Apparently, the mother had to leave Taylor at some point because she had some type of mental breakdown and she was sick. She went to a reading. I'm assuming she went to a hospital or something and got herself together. But he said he didn't want to tell her because he didn't want to upset her. But it was rape because he was assaulted. He said no, okay? So we don't know how this shit gonna turn out, child. Later we see the Leland board, the school board having a meeting, and they talking about that Eric has came forward and he's saying that it was consensual sex opposed to being an actual rape. They want to focus on that. This school basically trying to make sure that they come out looking good as possible. He said, that woman Leslie said that those emails are a blueprint for a rough sex encounter, and that's what the public needs to believe. So rape or not, they still going to cover it up as best they possibly can. These people, they know that this boy probably did. Now, see what works in their favor is, from what I'm getting out of this, is that he did have contact with the boy. They were talking about getting together, having sex. However, once they got to that moment, just like it is in the real world, I don't care if me and you sit here and have a conversation about having sex all day, all night. I don't care if I show up at your house for us to do it. If before that penis touches that asshole or that vagina hole, the word stop, I don't want to do it, is said, if you continue on, it's considered rape. And I think that that's what happened here, but that's where it ended off with these school people trying to make a point to try to make sure that they look good as possible. Child, I'm disgusted by that shit. And I ain't disgusted by the fucking sex. I'm disgusted about this boy saying he still was attacked and nobody, and they finna try to, just because he made arrangements to go see this motherfucker and have sex with him, it's just out the window that this boy could have actually assaulted him. And we know Eric aggressive, but we'll see what go on. This was a good episode. I'm glad it's starting to, some of the puzzle pieces are starting to come together, and I'm gonna rock it with y'all until we put this puzzle together. So that being said, in the meantime, in between time, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys back down here for the real world now with me, your girl, Lady Nika. Peace.